Working with remote teams has its advantages. Of course, you can get the best talent from the best places. You don't have to worry about geographical limitations. You can work across time zones. You can work across countries. So there's a lot of good things about virtual teams. In fact, I have been managing virtual teams for the last 15 years. When I was in the US, my teams were working in Vietnam, in China, in Macedonia, and throughout the clock, 24 hours, work was getting done. So it's great. Now, today, as we stand, with most companies that had to go through virtual working during lockdown, a lot of the people are not wanting to come back to office. And so teams are learning to work with teams that are in the office and teams that are working virtually. The biggest thing that as a manager, as an entrepreneur, as a leader of your organization that you have to understand is not everybody is qualified to work virtually. Because when you're working virtually, it requires a certain level of discipline to get the work done when your boss is not watching what you're doing, when your friends and colleagues are not there to look at your work. There are many problems to virtual teams. So there are certain things that I have used over the last 10-15 years that has worked for me and it will work for you as well. First of all, make sure that your team has the equipment they need to get the work done. That means if there is certain software required, if there's a certain amount of hard drive space, certain kind of laptop, certain tablets, whatever is required in terms of equipment and technology, they have it in their remote working location, wherever that might be. Number two is internet connection, right? Sometimes people might just say, hey, at my home there is internet outage. So making sure that they have a reliable internet connection. So that comes to the tools and technologies that they have on board. The second thing is goal setting. Make sure your employee knows what they need to accomplish, by when they need to accomplish, and what that deliverable looks like. So example of what that completed deliverable looks like would be important. So make sure you tell them, you repeat yourself, and you make them tell you so that they understand and you understand that they understand, right? So that's crucial in terms of communication with the virtual team, especially if there's a language barrier. You speak a different language. To them, your language is second language to them. It's important that you tell them what needs to be done. You tell them again what needs to be done, and they repeat it back to you of what they understand what needs to be done, right? Set a deadline. Now, the next thing is meet every day. With your virtual team as well as your physical team, you should have a daily stand-up meeting. Generally, I propose 9 to 9:30, around that time. So before they get started with working, they have their meeting with you, and there are two things you're going to discuss. One, what did you do yesterday? Two, what are you going to do today? This keeps a healthy dose of pressure on them because they know every day they have to answer that question for you. So as they're going through the day, they're making sure they're reaching milestones, they're reaching through the different parts of the deliverables that they're achieving. So next day they can tell you, I have done so much of the deliverable and so much of the deadline is still left. Project management tools, they come in very handy in this case. You as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a project manager, make sure your tasks, deadlines, and the person responsible are listed on the project management tool. More so, the tasks need to be broken down into subtasks so that week by week, you are able to see, you are able to track that they are getting parts of the deliverables done. So you're not waiting till the last date, till the deadline, or a week before the deadline when your team is freaking out like, oh, we are behind schedule, oh, we thought we could do it, but we don't think we can. All that drama doesn't happen when you track it daily through your stand-up meetings and through your project management tools, right? And the last thing I would tell you, this is the biggest mistake people do that they overlook, is making sure that you are aware of the potential things that your employee might be facing emotionally, financially, health-wise, or whatever else. Make sure you have an emotional and a physical health update from your employees all the time. regularly, because that tells you that if things will go according to plan or not. They might be doing their work, but not with their heart, not with their full focus, because their wife is sick or kids are in the hospital or something is wrong, and you are not aware, and you're wondering, why is my employee not doing the way he used to do or she used to perform? Their performance is going down. Why is it happening? So it's important, along with your stand-up meetings on a weekly basis, make sure you have a heart-to-heart conversation with your employees. So maybe it's not you, maybe it's a project management, maybe it's somebody on a little lower level, but somebody knows what's happening in their personal lives, because you're not able to see their faces, you're not able to see them every day, but you should know what's happening in their life, so you know what to prepare for. If they're not emotionally all there and you're dealing with something that is absolutely a precious job, you don't want their half-hearted work to be there. You might have to just put them on something else that's low priority and put somebody else on that high priority task. So these are some things to keep in mind when dealing with the virtual team. If you have more questions, ask in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer them for you. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you for watching this video. If you need more help, you can use the number in the description to book your meeting or mentorship. Just call or DM on WhatsApp to book your slot.